There are a number of things we can look at in the atmosphere to get an idea of how busy the tropics might be over the next few weeks. One of them is called the MJO. It's a wave that moves around the globe, and when the favorable phase of that wave comes by, sometimes we see more tropical development. Well, right now, that favorable phase is all the way on the other side of the Pacific. That's Asia over there, and that's where they're seeing a little more activity right now in the tropics. The unfavorable phase of that wave is all the way here on our side of the Pacific. There's Florida there's New Mexico, and we see a little gap in that unfavorable area. And that's where Tropical Depression number 2 formed this week. In addition to that, if we look at the upper level winds, we actually had favorable upper level winds there for that tropical depression to form. Now, just to the north of those favorable winds, we've had very strong unfavorable winds, and that's been protecting the rest of the Gulf of Mexico and out here in the Atlantic, and it looks like that situation is going to continue. So we have the unfavorable area over us, and right now the favorable area of the MJO on the other side of the Pacific. Now watch what happens next week. They kind of switch. That favorable area moves across to our side of the Pacific Ocean, and the western side becomes unfavorable. So that's why we're thinking next week we have a better chance of something developing here on our side of the Pacific and in the western Atlantic. So here's the way it looks here for the next few weeks. As we look at this week, conditions are marginally favorable on our side of the Pacific. Now, looking into late June next week, things become somewhat more favorable around here. And now looking into mid-July, things again become generally less favorable moving into the middle part of next month. Now, none of this guarantees that something is going to form, but we can look now at the atmosphere and just get an idea of when the general conditions are going to become more favorable.